Hello everybody, this is Errol here from the Kairos Moment. And what I would like to talk to you today about is something called the break point. Now, the break point. Well, for many of us, this can mean many things. But I would like to talk from the point of view in how you could be in a situation where you seem to be as if you are lost at sea. You seem to be totally alone. You seem to have nothing worth living for, when in fact you have everything that you need. But the circumstances around you seem to be telling you as if there's nothing worth living for in this life. Now, for myself, I came to this realization after several painful experiences. And this one particular situation really brought it into focus for me. I remember 2-3 years ago now, that one winter's, I think it was a week before winter, week before Christmas, sorry. And I myself was just in a room. I had a terrible temperature, cold, and I felt totally alone. And I was freezing, and I was thinking, this situation cannot continue. I was by myself, miserable, and I was thinking, this is not a way to spend Christmas. And at that moment, I decided that has got to be the last time I'm going to be in this situation ever again. And that was my Kairos moment. That was my break point, as you could say, where I decided that I had to take some action to start to change my life, my circumstances around me. And I started to take steps, baby steps at first, because there was nothing significantly happened. And I felt as if I was still fighting and climbing a mountain by myself. But slowly, step by step, I realized that the greatest battle was within me, within myself, understanding where I was coming from and how and what it meant to me to change my circumstances so I can start to help the people that I cared for and loved. So the breaking point for you, or the break point for you, may be totally different. But it's interesting, what I found out on speaking to some people is that some people are very comfortable in their time of despondency. They're comfortable being desolate, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're happy with that situation, if it floats your boat, that's fine. But some people are satisfied in not having the money, not having the means to take care of themselves, because it gives them something to complain about instead of doing something to change their circumstances, change their mindset, to take advantages of the skill sets that's within them. And it's interesting to notice that sometimes as you start to take those steps, you find people who will start to come to you and give you encouragement, who will give you some form of support so that you can start to move forward into the things that you need to be doing. Now, admittedly, not all help is good help. Because some people will say it is better to know the devil that you do know than to know something else, right? So you've got to really start to know yourself in understanding where you should be going, the direction you should be going, and why you should be going in that direction. It's important. But the break point, it gives you the opportunity to examine where are you at that particular moment in your life, and how you can start to take chances and take the opportunity to change about what's happening. And for myself, when I came to that point, I understood that I had to change my mindset. My mindset had to change. Instead of one of being dependent on somebody else or situation or circumstances, into being a person who starts to make things happen, start to do the things that I could do to bring about the changes that I want. I had to start to see in the long term, medium to long term outlook, how I could see myself doing the things that I really wanted to be doing. Starting to believe in myself, starting to believe I'm worthy to have a good relationship, I'm worthy to be running my own business or businesses, and start to believe and take those actions to make it happen. And I realized that one of the first things I had to understand was responsibility. Who was responsible for my situation? Yes, there might have been other circumstances that placed me in the situation that I was in, but ultimately the true responsibility was mine. And that was a hard thing to swallow, especially when you were in a freezing cold house, freezing room. You felt lousy. You had nothing to worth for. You think you're worth living for. You, myself, had to sit down and say, this is my mess. There's nobody else's mess, but it's my mess. And when I started to take ownership of what was happening around me in my life, things started to change. And again, I say it didn't happen overnight. But just the fact that I was willing to look at it and say, yep, I caused this, brought about a sense of freedom. I'm going to say happiness, but it brought a sense of freedom and understanding, the start of understanding in about how I can go about to change things. So that breaking point that we go through, that place of totally desolation that we find ourselves in sometimes in life, is sometimes an opportunity, a golden opportunity for us to remake and take hold of our life and take back the responsibility that's within us. And that's one of the key things that we must realize. Responsibility is power. And when we give our responsibility away, we're giving away our power to govern our own lives, to govern our destiny, to shape our destiny. We must be prepared to take back our responsibility and our power within us again. Because it's yours, it's your birthright for you to determine the true destination of your destiny. You can shape and how you can go through your day. That break point, and for some of us, we may go through several breaking points in our lives, right, before we fully realize, before we come to that true understanding. And again, I come to that Kairos moment. It's in that instant that things become clear. We go, I see, I understand it now. I understand what I need to be doing, how I can be doing it. And the thing is, you may not have all the answers at your fingertips, at the edge of your tongue. It may not happen, but you have something there that you can take steps. And sometimes it may be simply as just reading a book or hearing a quote, seeing something on YouTube, speaking to somebody, walking in nature, and you have that eureka moment. And I call it this, it's a Kairos moment, because it's in that instant you start to see all the possibilities of what could be happening in your life. You start to see the different people that you could be connecting with, how you could be living your life, making your life count for something fantastic. And what we think is valuable for each and every one of us is going to be different. But the important thing is we start to understand and we believe that in us we have something that can change, that is worth living for. Right? That is the drive, the passion that can be birthed in us again. And then you start to remember of things that you used to do so naturally, so wonderfully, and you used to enjoy doing those things, and it brought you joy and you brought other people joy. It brought something wonderful to the table of life. So I just want to really encourage you, and some of you may be going through a breaking point, the break point in your life, And you may be thinking, I have been through this several times and there seems to be no change. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, what have you done to change it? What have you done? Have you taken responsibility? Have you taken the responsibility and the authority back to yourself by saying, this is mine and I can change it and I have the ability, the means to do so? Because I believe in every situation that you may go into, you have the ability to take command of it again and change it. But the choice is yours. Nobody can make it for you. Nobody can force you to do it. It has to be an act of your own will to say, this is mine and I am taking the helm of my ship, my life again, and I will make it mine. That has to be a determination, a mindset that you are going to be somebody who's going to live your life. So I want to just encourage you. Do not surrender to the circumstances. Do not allow other people to say and tell you who and what you are. The break points that we have in life are there to help us to remember, to understand, for us to move forward into who we are, to take up our true authority, our true place at the table of life and live it. It's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, but those challenges are there to be overcome. You have it within you. You have greatness within you to be somebody spectacular. And I want you to live it and to believe in yourself that you can do it. So that's what I would like to share with you today, the break point. Now, if you'd like more information about what I do or the different services that I do, I'll leave some information down below. And please leave your comments. Press like, subscribe to this channel, but understand the break point is your Kairos moment, where that in that instance you will start to see the clarity of what you are and what you can be if you will only start to take the responsibility, the authority back to you and start to live your life again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. And until next time, take care, and we speak to you again soon.